Woo! What's going on, guys? Oral Storm coming at you guys today with another video. And today's video I'm going to be talking about defensive end rookie Joshua Pascal from the Detroit Lions. Our second round pick. A pick that we kind of slipped in the draft. Well, we went and made a move to go get Jamison Williams, and still kept the second round pick, but dropped down about 10-12 spots, and ended up grabbing Pascal there. A Kentucky Wildcat guy that I said. He had offers from Alabama and Ohio State University, and chose to go to Kentucky. Now 6'3", 276 pounds. His stats in college were 139 tackles, 37 tackles for loss, 3 forced fumbles, 1 pick, 1 pass breakup, 12 quarterback hits, and only 13.5 sacks in 5 years. So not a sack guy, but putting up some decent tackles for loss through those through those 5 years at least. Now, before I get into the strengths and into the weaknesses, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit the bottom right, hit the top for all my videos, and like and comment this video, guys, and it'd be greatly appreciated. So this guy right here, with the strengths and the weaknesses, I'll talk about his strengths. A 3-year captain. A 3-year captain at Kentucky, a versatile D lineman, can play up and down all over the D line. He even played some special teams too. Made some plays in the special teams department. From at least that standpoint, he can, you know, if all goes wrong, which I don't think it will, the guy has the ability to play special teams. That's what I'm trying to get at. Now, he's got a solid frame on him at, at 6'3", 276 pounds, good size to him. Very twitchy reflexes, and gets into the backfield pretty good. He can get skinny on you, and that kind of saying of football, getting skinny, I know a lot of you guys know, but getting skinny, especially if you're like, I remember when I played football, it was a big terminology, big word used by my linebacker coach, Mike Morency, and getting skinny, trying to get thin, trying to get in there, just trying to, you know what I mean? If you're trying to get skinny as a D lineman or a linebacker, you're just trying to get in that, you're just trying to like slice through that offensive line, getting skinny, trying to turn, trying to torque your body. You got to have some good hips. You got to have some good reflexes to get in there and get skinny and do a swim move or something like that. So getting skinny, he can do that, and he fights through gaps. You really like that. Fights through those tight spaces. He understands the game. He uses his hand extremely well to fight off old linemen, from old linemen getting into him and getting into his chest and washing him out of the play. Just toss him to the side. He doesn't necessarily get beat like that. Great eye discipline too, as well, from him. Doesn't get fooled easy. Has a relentless motor. You really like that about the kid, with good upper body strength and power. Wraps up. Doesn't really let go of guys. Doesn't let guys slip out of his fingers, his hands. So a pretty sure tackler. Got a bull rush. Pretty much his only pass rush move is the bull rush, and a very dominant run stopper. He was one of the best. He's one of the best edge defenders coming out in this draft last year. Got a very high grade because of his run stopping. His run stopping is dominant. It's very good. From the inside, not as much. More kind of like, not necessarily the outside either, but kind of like in between. Just a very good run stopper. He's a good run stopper. It's just that it's not as great from the total inside, and not completely from the outside. It's kind of right in the middle. You know, there's that 3 and there's that 5 technique that he can play. I can kind of play a little bit all over the field. You don't really want necessarily him really over a center, but you know, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. I actually think that the Lions might be asking this kid maybe to gain a few pounds eventually when everything's said and done. But who knows? We'll kind of see what happens. He did have some major injury concerns during his college during his college days and fought off cancer back in, I think it was 2018. This kid didn't even know if he was ever going to play football again, didn't know what was going on in his future. But he fought his way out of it. He fought his way out of it, beat it. I think it was melanoma or something like that. I think it was melanoma. And he just, man, the kid persevered, man. He just, you know, he's just a fighter, a leader. And you really like that about him. But he does have some injury concerns. He has been hurt during his college days. Like I kind of alluded to, his pass rush really isn't, it doesn't really exist. There's not one there. He relies solely on a bull rush, really, and that's about it. You know, like a pretty good athlete, not the greatest athlete, but a good athlete. So, you know, we got that for him. He does lack a little bit of agility and bend. Like I said, not a pass rusher. He's not going to bend around that corner. He's not going to bend around an offensive tackle and get to the quarterback that much. He has trouble attacking on the outside, on passing downs, and even on the run downs, like I kind of said too. So his outside rush lanes, you know, he's not really beating offensive tackles on the rush. But you know, he has beat up guards. His kind of like his whole college was that he manhandled. He pretty much manhandled guards. Didn't really have great games against centers when he had to go up against a couple centers. You know, because he's so versatile, you can move it inside and out. His best time was, that's why I kind of said like he's like an in-between kind of guy. You don't want him against the center. Kind of want him on that outside of that guard. Don't really want him going up solely against an offensive tackle. But he did have his best games against guards. Guards had a lot of trouble against him, and he struggled mostly against offensive tackles. To tell you the truth, that's where you saw his struggles. What else I got written down here? He just isn't an edge burner. We talked about that too. He's not an edge burner. A bit of a tweener. Is he a defensive tackle? Is he going to be a defensive end? I think he's a little bit of both. So it's going to be interesting to see where he wants to play. He is a very good run stopper, like I talked about too. One of the best in college, and had a high grade, like I talked about earlier too. But he's basically just a run stuffer. And final thoughts on the guy, pretty much like I said, I like him as a player. And I don't think I really talked about this. I like him as a player, and I remember when we made this pick, I liked him. Okay, I liked him, but I thought the Detroit Lions reached a little bit on this guy. I had this guy graded out, you know, no better than a 4th round pick, but who am I to make a judge of that? But I just thought personally that we reached a little bit on Joshua Pascal. Just because, you know, he was a very good edge defender, very good defensive end in college, graded very high coming into this draft, but I still had him as a later round pick, like a mid 4th round. I didn't think he would have went the second. Brad Holmes apparently was completely in love with this kid from day one. I think there was even an article out, and there was an article out about how much he wanted this kid, and he was going to be very, very upset if he didn't end up grabbing him. After he made that move to go get the wide receiver from Alabama, Jameson Williams, he was worried, I think, that he wasn't going to be able to get Joshua Pascal. So personally, and just in my opinion, nobody has to believe me here, and that's okay. I think Brad Holmes reached a bit because he could have. He might have went in the third. He might have went in the 3rd round. So he was never coming back to Detroit. Probably was what Brad Holmes was obviously thinking. I still think he's a 4th round player. Some guys that, you know, that get drafted earlier, you know, that should have been drafted later, they become really good football players. I'm not saying this guy's not going to be a good football player, but I just feel that they reached a little bit on Pascal. I do love him. I love his football character. I love that he's a leader, a tough kid, fought through many injuries, fought through cancer. You love that about the guy. The guy You know, he's happy to be here, but they do need to sign him, though. We're basically getting a run stuffer and a leader. So that's not a bad thing to have. You know, this is a team that couldn't stop the run at all whatsoever. And they're trying to get big bodies in there, kind of trying to get some versatile kids in there that can help stop the run. So I think they're going to do that. I personally, though, still, you know, I thought he was more of a 3-4 defensive end coming out. I've read that he prefers playing on 2 feet, standing up. That's where he feels that he can make his most plays and help out teams most. So I had him as a 3-4 DN. That doesn't mean that he can't adjust. That doesn't mean that he can't be a 4-3 DN. It doesn't mean that. 4-3 DN, kind of tweener, kick him inside on certain downs, on certain run plays, maybe rush plays. See if they can build an arsenal with him with a pass rush. But I personally thought he was a 3-4 defensive end. But you love his versatility, and it's going to be interesting to see where Aaron Glenn, or where, you know, Aaron Glenn, where he wants to put this kid. Like I said, versatile. You're going to see this guy. You might even see this guy even standing up. You might even see him standing up if he prefers to do that, you know. And if he can do that at the NFL level, why not? You know what I mean? That's what I think they're going to do with Hutchinson too, as well. You know, I kind of got into it a little bit. I didn't get into it, but I was told that, you know, the Hutchinson's pretty much just going to be going up against offensive tackles. That's what he should be doing. I'm like, no, man. He's going to be kicking all over the place. You're going to see him inside. You're going to see him on the outside. You're going to see him in between. You're going to see him standing up. You're going to see him hopefully rushing from the middle linebacker position. You just never know. With Pascal, I don't think he's as athletic. He's pretty athletic, decent, good athlete. And I think he's going to be used all over the place. So it's just a little bit interesting to see where Aaron Glenn fully puts him. So he hasn't signed yet, though, so I can't talk about the money. This is where I usually talk about the money, what these guys getting paid. It's usually a set number right now. That's the way the NFL is. That's just how it goes now the last few years. Money's slotted now. So good football player. Joshua Pascal, I think we reached a bit for him. I do like him as a player, but don't expect this kid to be a sack guy. He's here to stop the run. If he can add a pass rush arsenal, even better. Time will tell. But good football player all around. Joshua Pascal, Kentucky Wildcat, a Detroit Lion now. Let's go. Good signing. Well, again, he hasn't signed him yet. Good draft pick. Thought it was a little bit of a reach. It's okay. One pride. Thanks for the video, guys. That's it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button in the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, get all my videos. And don't forget to like and comment. Let's talk about Joshua Pascal. Do you guys agree that he was a bit of a reach? Do you guys think that it was just a perfect spot for him? Do you like him? What do you think he's bringing to the table for the Detroit Lions? I think he's a run stuffer off the bat. Maybe he can get better. Go Lions. Boom.